Figure drawing burnout is real, and honestly, it might be the number one reason why I quit figure drawing so many times. One day I couldn't stop practicing, the next day I felt completely drained. So in this video I want to share with you 7 strategies that I picked up from books and teachers and that I personally use to beat burnout while learning to draw the human figure. The idea came from a comment under one of my videos that sparked an interesting debate. Any advice on when you fall out of love with the process of learning? Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. For example, advice number 1, experiment. My first advice is doing what I'm doing right now actually. Practice the same thing, just in a new way. As you can see, this style of gesture is a bit different compared to my usual one. I've learned it from a comic book artist. It is purposely a bit more sketchy and messy, and it has a bit more structure and volume. And exactly this new style motivated me to draw gestures even more. It felt refreshing after doing thousands and thousands of gestures always in the same way. And it also helped me to study this practice from a different angle. So my suggestion is just switch things up and don't keep doing the same thing always in the same way. Be influenced by many artists, take what you like from them, and this will develop your unique artistic voice. And all these different approaches can influence one another and bring your overall level up, your overall understanding of the subject. And also experiment with the drawing tools you use, like I'm doing right now. Make gestures with pencils, mechanical pencils, gel pens, rollable pens, brush pens. Hell, I have even used coffee. And this is also a good excuse to keep buying stuff. Like, I don't want to sound too materialistic, but just that new supply, that new sketchbook can really give you that spark, at least initially. But remember, this is just a spark. You need to fuel it. And my next piece of advice can help you exactly with that. It is basically a do more by doing less sort of thing. Set boundaries. Even if you are super motivated and you want to learn as much as possible in the shortest time possible, don't overdo it. There is only so much your brain can learn in a given time span. I made this same mistake so many times, so I'm talking from experience right here. We all had those days when we grinded 15 hours a day practicing just because we were excited to learn something new and we were happy with our progress. That's when drawing can become addicting. But even in those days, don't do that. Don't push too much. I believe that our progress is made of ups and downs, like anything in life. The ups are when we are in the flow. We feel good learning something new, so we feel motivated, we feel great. The lows are when we don't want to practice at all. We feel frustrated, tired. And the alternation between them is something inevitable. We cannot always feel good, and we cannot always feel bad. So when we are grinding, what's really happening, in my opinion, is that we are making those highs even higher. By practicing in those moments, we feel better and better. And we think that this feeling will continue forever, right? No, because this means the lows will be even lower. Those moments when we would do literally anything else apart from drawing will hit even harder and last longer. Even if we don't feel the burden of that 16-hour practice immediately after doing it, rest assured that we will pay the price of it, sooner or later. Everything comes with a price. Now, I do want to specify that this is just a personal theory, but I did see this same thing many times on myself. The solution I found? Just setting boundaries for myself, either by time or quantity. I would always say to myself, okay, I can only practice this amount of time per day, or I can only fill this amount of pages per day. And even if I feel a burning desire to continue after reaching my goal, I would just stop, call it a day, and go doing something completely different, like working out, spending time with my loved ones, waste time on YouTube. This allows me to have time to decompress after practice and save up more energy for the times I wouldn't have any, the lows. And this way I develop a routine. a habit for myself that built consistency over time. Remember, it's always better to just show up consistently compared to practice 10 hours a day for a week and then stop for 3 months. I'm talking again from experience right here. Okay, this next tip maybe is a bit counterintuitive, but just stop. Stop being a student. I think that when we get serious about learning to draw, we close ourselves in the practice prison, and we forget that time when we fell in love with art in the first place. We forget how much fun we had, how excited we were drawing our own character even if it sucked. We forget how much fun we had just copying our favorite character from that one anime. In other words, we had fun just by doing our silly little projects. We had no one to follow, no course, no step-by-step tutorial, and we felt free. When we get serious about art instead, we just tend to do practice exercises. We enter that tutorial hell, where a 5-minute tutorial ends up taking us half an hour just because we stop constantly to copy every single stroke. So my suggestion is, just go back to that time. Tackle a personal project from time to time, no matter how small, dumb or nonsense, but breathe that freedom again and bring it all the way to the end. This way you will stop feeling like a student for once and start feeling like a pro. You will start to taste that life that seems so far ahead. Another reason why this is great is that in this way you will put into practice finally something that you have been learning, that you have been studying, and you might even learn something completely new, but in a fun way, no step-by-step tutorial. Okay, the next method is the goal of my channel basically. Break down big goals into smaller steps. And by big goals I don't even mean learning to draw humans, but something more specific like learn to draw gestures that don't look like spaghetti. Then break this goal down further into smaller steps, like learn CSI, get better at exaggeration, practice rhythm, and so on. And focus on just one of these small steps in each practice session you do. Don't try to get better at everything all at once. This is way less abstract compared to just saying, just get better at gesture. And this is by the way the strategy that I'm using right now with YouTube. For every upload, I aim at improving on one particular aspect, like audio, video quality, scripting, same principle. Then, by stacking all these small steps one on top of each other, you will notice a dramatic improvement in your figures over time. This will make everything more manageable and also more fun, because you will start to see small improvements at a quicker rate, and therefore you will feel less frustrated. And this is why on my channel I'm focusing on just one particular aspect of gesture for each video. And this method ties perfectly with the next tip. Learn by layers. Think about the layers in your drawing program. You don't try to perfectly draw the whole thing in just one layer. You stack one step on top of the previous. And this is something that I always got wrong in my art journey, because I would obsess over just one aspect of drawing and I would not allow myself to go further before absolutely mastering it. And this made me practice the same thing over and over, for months, sometimes years. This is why I'm way better at gesture compared to any other aspect of figure drawing. And of course, thanks to this smart tactic, I would get tired more easily and quit. What I found works way better is to give yourself a timeline for each area, like gesture, mechanization, anatomy, whatever. And when you reach the deadline for one topic, you just move on to the next one. This doesn't mean you will never touch that topic ever again. It doesn't mean you have to master it. But you are making a strategic decision that for now, that skill is good enough and it's time to see the human figure from another angle. Then, when you went through your whole timeline, start again from the beginning. And this time you have the knowledge of concepts further down the line. The best thing about it is that all these concepts influence and complete each other. I mean, you are learning to draw the same thing after all. I found, for example, that my gestures started looking way better when I started to layer in some structure and anatomy. This is what I call the layered learning method. But in my experience, without the next step, all this will be useless. Remember the why. Another thing we lose contact with is why we started pursuing art in the first place. What artist inspired us? Or even why we are doing all this. Why we decided to go through so much pain. We are so trapped in this tutorial hell or practice hell that we forget who we are. This makes it easier for us to get frustrated because we don't have a North Star to follow when things really get difficult. And they will get really difficult. The easiest way I found to solve this, it is just to pin some artworks that I love and that made me say, oh, I want to draw like this one day, right on the wall in front of my desk. Pin anything that inspires you, any piece of art, any quote, write down even your why. A personal advice is also to pin on that wall a photo of yourself when you were a kid. Remember, you are doing it also for them, to make your inner child that had this crazy dream one day happy. Okay, last tip. Probably the most important one. Be patient and kind to yourself. I hope this goes without saying, but learning to draw will take time. And in that time, you will fail a lot. It's mandatory to fail. It is crucial. Without mistakes, there is no growth. And I always make this clear in my videos, leaving even the bad drawings or mistakes I make during my practice. Give yourself the permission to be bad. Actually, every time you make a mistake, give yourself a treat or a pat on the back, because it means that you push yourself beyond your comfort zone. You try something that you just didn't know. You are stretching, you are stressing your mind. And this is enough to celebrate in my book. I have just one extra tip for you. A healthy community makes everything easier. Find people that are trying to learn what you are trying to learn. They can teach you, believe me, way more than any other master. And this is why I created a free Discord community specifically centered around gesture and figure drawing. You can find the link in the description below. And I will see you on my next step.